Hey guys, welcome to a very special project. We're out here at Mountain West MX Park, just south of Salt Lake City, Utah, at a facility owned by this guy right here, Chris Papworth. And not only is the track amazing, but man, he built himself a really cool motorcycle that he allowed us to come out and have a little fun on. And we've got Tyler Lynn riding it, so we'll hear from him in a minute. But Chris, first of all, thanks for having us out. This place is unreal.
Absolutely.
I kind of expected good things, but when I got here, it's a whole different level.
Well, thank you. That means a lot.
It's very cool. Now, tell me about this bike, because when I rolled up and saw this thing, there's so many parts to look at. There's so much trick stuff on this thing. The cases are all billet. I've never even seen that before. It's got A-kit suspension. It's got carbon fiber pieces that I've never seen. And I know a little bit about the top end on this thing, which we'll get to. And so that's got a cool story. Tell me how this thing came to be.
Well, I'm kind of an old guy, and I love two-strokes, and I like freedom. And I think that sometimes what we ride is kind of what's dictated by the globalist agenda. And I'm like, no, thanks. I like freedom. I like God. And I'm going to build the bike I want. I live in America.
I can't like that anymore. That was very well said. So tell me about what you did on this thing. And why a Honda 500 stuffed into this chassis?
You know, my dad was kind of crazy, and that's what we started on. We're Honda 500, so I think a lot of guys that build bikes, it comes, you know, whatever era they love is what we build. And so, I don't know. It's crazy, but it's awesome too. So, that's it, dude.
Honda 500, that's what everybody starts on.
Yeah. If you can kick it, you can ride it, you know?
Yeah, and this bike would break your leg if you didn't kick it right.
Right.
But you got some really sweet billet triple clamps, like I said, A-kit suspension, titanium foot pegs, custom wheel set, a lot of really trick parts, and even the graphics made to look like, what is it, 95?
96.
96, okay.
96, yeah.
Very, very cool looking stuff. And I've never seen the billet cases like this before, the bottom end. It's beautiful. And you mentioned, you called me and said, hey, I want to have a pro circuit motor in this thing. Would Mitch help me build it? I said, yeah, let me talk to him. And so Mitch Payton, I hit him up, and shout out to Mitch. He goes, yeah, I've still got, I think, the old factory Honda spec. Let me look. And so he's digging through his notes, you know, it's all paperwork. And he goes, oh yeah, right here. I've got the factory Honda spec. You know, does he want that? I can build that for him. So he ships down a cylinder and head, and Mitch ports it himself. And calls me a couple days later, and he says, hey, I've got two different head specs, one for John Michelle Bale, who liked a very smooth power, and one for Stanton, who liked a little more abrupt power, a little more grunt. And so, of course, you said, well, I'm going to send you down another head. I want one of each. So.
Well, Mitch is doing it. I'm paying, you know. He does awesome work. And he did on this bike, too. It's amazing.
And so you went with the Stanton head because, you know, you're not a pussy.
It's 500, you know. It's what you do.
Why try to make it smooth, right?
I mean,
let's make it radical.
We like to think at 45 we still have balls of steel, which maybe not. After riding it, I'm like, that's a lot of bike. So maybe I'll put the J&B head on.
You go. You've always got the option.
Yeah.
So you got on it really for the first time today. You'd ridden it here and there just to make sure it was good. But tell me your thoughts on it. You know, you spent a lot of time and thought went into this sucker. How was it for you?
It was awesome. It was like, it was incredible. I mean, I'm kind of speechless. Sounds stupid because I built the bike, but it's like, it's really cool. I can't wait to see what Tyler has to say. And
met all your expectations, though.
It met my expectations, yeah. And this is what we should be riding, in my opinion, you know?
Well, for what it's worth, which is nothing, I agree with you. I think going to 4 strokes, which was thrust upon us, was a mistake. And I think, you know, financially it makes our sport more difficult to reach. The point of entry is really high, and It's a bummer, but it is what it is, and good thing that you've got the freedom to build what the hell you want.
That's right, man.
So, well, I sure appreciate your passion. I appreciate your attitude, and I appreciate you letting us be here when riding this thing. It's pretty stinking awesome.
I appreciate you coming out and having good things to say about the bike and the track, and I can't wait to get you back on it and be good.
We'll be back. We'll be back. All right, we found a fast guy to ride this thing. SLR Honda's Tyler Lynn, and stoked you grew up what, like 5 miles from here?
Yeah, 10 minutes from here, so it's a local track for me.
Mona, Utah boy, and luckily he was in town and available to ride this thing for us. We wanted somebody fast to really see what it could do. And so, I mean, tell me about, first of all, what you thought when you saw it, and then how it was to ride this thing.
Man, so first off, Chris that owns the track, he sent me pictures of the bike, and he's pulling a 2-stroke race out here, and he's like, man, you want to race it? And I was like, yes, I do. And so he sent me some pictures, and I noticed it was in the new modern frame and everything. I'm like, man, I could throw my suspension on it, I could throw my own parts on it and stuff. And then he's like, man, well, we're gonna have you guys out here to ride it and to film some stuff. And he's like, come out. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And so I come out, and the first time I'd seen the bike was the first time you seen the bike in person, and man, showing up, you see the cases, they're all shiny, and they don't look like a regular case, so
No.
they're aftermarket, and there's, man, lots of trick parts on this thing.
Yeah, he didn't spare too many expenses.
No.
I think he wanted to just build like his dream bike.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
he did a good job.
There was everything that you could think of to put on a motorcycle to make it as sick as possible. I think he's bought for it.
So how was it? I want to hear what you thought on the track. You went out when it was pretty smooth. We know the suspension was his, so set up probably a little firm, but you looked pretty comfortable, huh, buddy?
Yeah, obviously, it's in the new modern frame, so it's in the same frame as my current 450R. So, I got on the bike, and the first lap, obviously, it's got the feel of like a 2-stroke motor, but, the foot pegs of the frame, where the bars are, the wheels, everything feels the same as my 450, so it's super easy to get like comfortable really quick. And, obviously I had to get used to that 500 power, and man, like the bike just rips. Like it runs so well, and kickstarting the bike, and man, it's been years since I've ridden a 2-stroke, I guess, fully set up 2-stroke. So I just had to get used to that.
Did you ride big bike 2-strokes at all, or when you got onto big bikes, it was all?
So I rode a YZ250 years ago, 2017, in the National Hare and Hound series in the desert. So I've never ridden like a fully set up moto 2-stroke on a moto track.
Okay. And
so it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I've actually never really even ridden like a full setup moto bike. Honestly, I've always just been on an off-road bike, a soft bike. And coming out here, I was on his suspension, so it's a little stiffer. So, I can hit these jumps and I'm not bottoming out. And man, just the bike rips. Like it's awesome.
Well, it was sure fun to watch you. And you're currently doing great in the NGPC series off-road stuff out here in the West. How's all that going?
Man, it's been a good year. Obviously jumped to the SLR Honda this year, and we've struggled a little bit with the NGPCs. I've just bad starts, and man, just me not riding to my potential. I get to the races and ride like a sea rider when I come out here and can put in some solid laps. But it's been good. Been getting used to the bike, been getting used to the team, and it's been a good year. We got a Works win and we got a Hare and Hound win, so we're just clicking days off, and just getting better every day.
Well, that's awesome, man. Keep it up. We love Mark and that team. Those guys are awesome and doing awesome things in off-road and moto, which I love. So keep it up. We'll be rooting for you, and thanks for giving this thing a spin.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming out and filming.
Of course. Hey, if you guys are into 2-strokes, there's a 2-stroke race out here June 7th and 8th, Monsters of Moto. Check it out. Follow us on Instagram. We got updates. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos, comment what you thought, and share it with your friends.